we'd like to talk about what's the difference, because now that we have a new formula, we need to figure out how it's different from other formulas. And the one that it's closest to is the general compounding formula. So I'd like to find the difference between those two. So we'll say general and annuities. And let's write down everything we can think of about the general compounding formula. And the first thing I think of for that is start with a large chunk. And then the next thing that happens is we gain interest on interest. And then we get a larger chunk at the end. And compared to the annuities, it's the exact same total amount. The interest isn't calculated differently. So when I've written all the things down, I can think about the general compounding formula. So I'm going to look at the annuities and see how does that differ. And for general, you start with a large chunk at the beginning. For annuities, you're making deposits. Making regular deposits. And for annuities, we do gain interest on interest, and for compoundings, just like with the general compounding. So that part's exactly the same. And then we get a larger chunk out at the end as well with annuities, because we're making small deposits every month or every year, and then we get a very large chunk at the end that has had interest compounded on top of interest. So for these two, it looks like the big difference is how you start off with the money. So for general compounding, you deposit a large chunk of money at the start, while with annuities, you make regular and probably smaller deposits. For the entire investment period. Okay, and I think that's a very good sentence to explain the difference between the two types of compounding. One is the general compounding, where you take a large chunk of money, put it into your account, go away and forget about it, and come back in 10 years and see how much money you have now. And it should grow exponentially. You'll have a big chunk of money at the end. With annuities, you're involved every month. You're putting in a little bit of money and you're gaining interest on interest the whole time. And then at the end, again, you get a big chunk.